this tutorial, we are going to learn how to feed your newly added Google contacts into your AgentLocator CRM system. So this is for any new contacts that you perhaps just add. You're talking to somebody, you add them as a contact into your Google contacts. Things like that. For existing contacts, what you would have to do is download those contacts and then input them, so upload those leads into your AgentLocator. So these are like newly added contacts. Now, one thing you can do is put these people into a label while they're in your Google contacts. This is just going to allow you to identify these individuals if you need to, nonetheless, and kind of categorize them. Entirely up to you how you go about doing that. Now, the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to go into Zapier. So you're going to log into Zapier.com. If you don't already have an account, you're going to obviously have to create an account. And if by chance you're looking to do any kind of multi-step action, so this is a multi-step where there's more than 2 actions taking place. This is considered a multi-step. There is technically a paid fee to Zapier. They do have a trial, so you can test it out before you actually commit to paying anything. And it's pretty reasonable. It's about $20 a month, so it allows you to zap obviously more than that one zap. You can have several zaps created within that monthly fee. So the first thing that you're actually going to do is create a zap. So you can either go over here or hit make a zap. Same thing, either or works. You're then going to choose the initial event. So in this case, we are going to choose Google Contacts as the app. So when we're taking basically what happens in Google Contacts, it's then going to go into AgentLocator. So if you don't see Google Contacts here, you're just going to simply search for Google Contacts and then select it below. And the action, the event that you want to take is for a new or updated contact. So when you're updating or adding a new contact, it is going to throw that into your AgentLocator CRM system. Once you've selected that, you are going to click on Continue. Now, this is where you are going to connect your Google account. So if you've already done this, you will connect your Google account that's already connected. If you haven't already done this, you are going to simply click on Add New Account. A little pop-up's going to appear here, and you are going to log into your Google and basically click OK. It's just setting the permissions with Google nonetheless. So I'm going to use one that's already selected and then click on Continue. Then we're going to just find the data. It's just testing the trigger to make sure everything's good to go, that sort of thing. Now it's kind of created this contact right here. It's going to kind of pull basically some information it has already in my Google to kind of like say, okay, we're able to pull this information. We're now going to tell it. So now that we've got the Google aspect of it, what's going to happen when we create that Google contact? So in this case, we want that Google contact to go into AgentLocator. So again, if you don't see AgentLocator in your apps, you're just going to type in AgentLocator. It will pop up, and you're going to select it. Now in AgentLocator, when we add a new lead into Google, we want to create a lead in AgentLocator, and so we're going to select that option and continue. We then need to select the account. So here you are going to choose from the drop-down. Now, if you've already selected the account, it's going to show here. It'll tell you how many times you've used it as well. If you don't see it, you are going to add a new account. Now, in order to add a new account, you're going to see here, the system is going to require that you enter an API key. So the API key is located in your AgentLocator CRM system. You're just simply going to go up into this CRM administration, go to company administration, and you'll be able to see your API key right there. So we'll just give it a second here to load. And there you go. So all you're going to do is just click on this to copy it, paste it in here, continue, and this is going to update according to that. But in this case, I'm just going to select one that I've already done that with and click continue. We now need to customize our leads. So this is where you're going to be mapping the information. So basically saying what contact field in Google equals what contact field in AgentLocator. So you're going to click on each field. You do have this show all options, so if it's not showing, so I can see here this is the first name. So for that one there, then we've got the last name. So last name is Agent Locator. The email address, we're going to see that in here. So there is an email address, a phone number, wherever the phone number is. So phone number is undefined. The source will automatically throw it in from Zapier, just so you guys are aware, just through that API. But you can definitely, if you really wanted to, there's no source, so to speak, in Google. So there's nothing really to map there. If you know that these leads that you're entering into Agent Locator have a specific lead type, you can definitely do that. You can also select the pipeline. So basically, when a lead enters Agent Locator, they are going to be according to the pipelines in this specific action right now. So whether it's a new lead, or maybe you know that anyone that you've added to your Google contacts, you've already made contact with them, things like that. You do also have the ability to have a tag automatically added to all of these individuals as well. I do encourage that you essentially, create that tag first in your CRM, so it does show up in this list if necessary. You will want to select the site. So the site that's connected to that CRM, so the lead gen site, this automatically just makes it so that they already have an account on that website for you. You also have the ability to select the status. So personally, I don't use statuses. I know a lot of you guys do. This is just kind of, just different statuses you can have on the lead. And then for the description, you can put the notes in that description if you have it. Some of them will have it there, but more or less, it's where you want the lead ID to go. So in this case, it's notes. They don't have an actual quote-unquote ID based on the test lead that they pull. So just throw the notes in that section. This is just how the system is going to communicate back and forth if there is any specific ID that may be associated with that individual. You're then going to, once you finish mapping all this out, that's pretty straightforward, you're going to click on Continue. And then it's kind of showing you the fields that it's going to pull in and where that information is going. And then all you're going to do is go test and continue. Now, a test is good. It's all good. Test was successful, in other words. So all you're going to do is turn on your Zap. Now, when you turn on your Zap, it is ready to roll. You can also share your Zap, but one thing that I do encourage you doing is naming your Zap. This is going to allow you to identify what exact Zap this is. So should you ever need to go in and edit your Zaps, you know which one to edit, or if you have to turn something off, and so on and so forth. So this will be, I'm just going to go training Google to Agent Locator. Go there and then go back. So we can see that this Zap is here and that it is on. Now, if you notice also, this is not an instant app, so it doesn't happen like instantly like it does from Google, Agent Locator into Google. So there is a bit of delay that goes on there. But essentially, if you go into your Google contacts, so this was a contact that I created, just putting all the pieces together from Google. So I created this lead in Google. And that lead, of course, showed up in my Agent Locator CRM system. So if I go here, we're going to be able to see that that Google into Agent Locator was here. It did create another one. This was the test lead, right? So that was the testing that it just did. So that's why it's showing up right now. But essentially, this was the one I manually added. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to create a lead just so that you guys can see how it pushes that information. So I'm going to create a contact. Because I'm already in the Agent Locator folder within my contacts, it's automatically going to add this label to these people. So create a contact and testing Zapier. And I'm just going to put video so you guys can see that. When I'm testing this out, I never use actual contact information just in case any kind of automation. It is our training account and we do a lot of things in there. I don't want to accidentally reach out to somebody and start sending them stuff that's for testing purposes. And then I just tend to put like an unfinished phone number in there. Now you can put notes in there if you wish to, if you had like something specific that you wanted to throw in there, of course, and then you're just going to click save. So by saving this, the Zap is already going to start working to testing Zapier video will show in our Agent Locator CRM system. Now, as I mentioned, it's not going to be instantaneous. It will take a second for that to populate. So let's just give it a second here. And so it took about 5 minutes, and we can now see that testing Zapier video, that contact that we added from Google is now in the Agent Locator CRM system. It does have the Zapier.com as the source with all the information. The pipeline was set to new lead, as I had also indicated. If we open up the lead, you will also be able to see that there is no option to set them up on the lead gen site because you already set them up on the lead gen site through the integration. Should you guys receive or require, I should say, any support with respect to setting up your Zapier and integrating with your CRM system or vice versa and Google, please contact AgentLocator.ca and you're going to reach out to our support department.